Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Real Time with Prince Blue again on a Thursday. I know I just did it yesterday, but who cares? I'm back at it again. Um, Yesterday was a very serious episode and we did whatever and we talked about it, but today we just gonna have fun. We just gonna kick it. And I got a good, not even a good, I got a great guest coming on. He started his own thing. He's doing it. He's on a come up. Um, he invited me on a while back, and I had so much fun. The vibe was there, and man, let me tell you something. When you're doing these podcasts and these live stream shows and stuff like that, um, people be trying to big time you. Even people that don't even have people that listen to their shows. But this guy, he's been supportive day one. He had me come on, and I had to return the favor. It's my man, Richard Conroy of Junk Drunk on Broad Street podcast. My man, my dude. What is
Oh,
up?
I didn't even see you there. Didn't even see you there.
Man, what are you reading there, man? What's
I had to pull out the craft beer cookbook.
Why is white people always crafting beer?
Because there's nothing else for us to do.
Like, y'all can cook beer. Like, listen, if y'all can't cook potato salad, you can't cook shit else. But if I tell you to scramble me an egg, you look crazy. If I say, yo, man, I want something to drink, I want some molten hot with a little bit of Southern twang, you be like, oh, yeah, I got it.
You would like some Lagunitas. You would like some Lagunitas. It's perfect Amarillo hop on the palate. You'll get the mango and you'll get the pine. You'll get the juice.
I know. It's like, it's like now, it's like, we ain't even got to worry about cooking meth no more. Y'all be brewing illegal beer and shit, illegal tap parties, like just Bud Light hiring contract killers to take y'all out because y'all trying to corner the market. It's like crazy. But what's up, my man?
Not much, man. Last night's episode was great. Don, I see Don in the comments. He put that up too. And yeah, man, everything about, I just love it, man. Your show, dude, Back in the Blue. I love it, man. I love it. I love it, bro.
You, man. Yeah,
it's fun because, being me, like a naive white guy, and I have no idea. Like the one thing that stuck out to me was the warrants part. Mm-hmm. When you're like, oh yeah, just because somebody has warrants for robbery, like most of the time it's bullshit, and who really knows what the fuck it is. I really thought that was like stuck out to me. I'm like, man, there's a lot of shit I don't know. Let me tune in and educate myself.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up, because the first thing people want to do is they want to say, well, he had warrants. Okay, a lot of people have warrants. You can have a warrant for unpaid parking tickets. Does that mean you supposed to be fucking shot? No. And there's always this thing to where, and you can see it online where, like they had a picture of Dwayne Wright with, I believe, his son or his nephew.
Yeah.
Then another douchebag spliced it and tweeted it out with him holding a gun. Yeah. That's the shit I'm talking about. Like when a white teacher gets caught having relations with a student, they show a beautiful
model a wedding photo. Him holding like three like babies who aren't his. It's like, oh, that's even creepier. It's even creepier. Right. You should have known he was a weirdo.
Yeah, and that's the shit that gets under our skin because we're like, yo, if you're gonna tell a fucking story, tell it right. You know what I'm saying? Tell the whole story.
Oh man, I love it. It's so good. But
man, listen,
honored to be here. We had so much fun on our pod. We revamped it a little bit, got some different things. Me and you talking, coming with some ideas and
now.
Shit,
when you say revamp, what do you mean revamp? Like, what's new? What's coming down the pike, yo?
Man, we got a bunch of stuff, dude. We got. Well, one, we're on iTunes, or on Apple Podcast. Well, that's pretty cool. I was like, oh, I did it myself too. I didn't rely on Oscar. I felt like a big boy. After I asked you for your help, I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm not tech savvy. I'm like, well, fuck Oscar. I'll figure it out myself. We use this thing called Google. It's a beautiful thing. It's on something called the web.
That's what I do. I use Google. Like people be coming in, they be like, yo, how do you like do whatever? Like I Google. Like I'll be like, yo, how to scramble egg. I'm like, because somebody else in the world has asked the same damn question.
How to be a championship cornhole player. I see it in your
That's
future.
that's right. I didn't see any black superstar cornhole player. So I'm it. I'm in
You
the
are it.
gym. I'm training. Like I'm up to maybe 1.5 games a day. I'm just
Tossing bags, baby. Tossing bags. Dude, soon you're going to be in the gym just like with 35s, just throwing them up in the air and just practicing balance, man. It's
I
gonna be
might put
nasty,
a
bro.
cornhole board in my front room so when I watch the TV, I could
Just practice. That's all. Let's get it
just
down.
practice.
Dude, I'm with you.
Now,
I'm with you.
you are a white man.
Yes.
How would you feel
Literally.
if
Literally.
how would you feel if a black man like me comes in and totally changes the way cornhole is played?
All right. So, funny thing is, I don't care. That's awesome. Good for you. Do whatever you want. At the end of the day, if you want that validation, Prince, take it. It's completely fine.
Because I want to be on ESPN when next February when they be like lift every voice. I want them to be like Prince Blue, the first black superstar cornhole player to debut on ESPN
the Ocha.
and win. That's what I want to be, yo. That's what I want to be.
I can see it. Me and my friends, my one buddy Mike, shout out to our boy Psycho, aka Teen Wolf, and his boys, who are my boys now, of course. But we play a lot of, it's called Polish washers. So I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's 3 cups. There's a board. They go inside the cups like they're cans. You have to stand from one side and throw washers. They have to land flat. Get them on the board or you get them in the holes. It's super hard. 95% of the people who play that game over Mike's house are black. You would fit right in. You want to come play a game. You come down, you come up to Jersey one day, and I will get you to play some Polish washers, and you will feel at home. But I'm telling you, some of those guys could play cornhole too. So if you want to join like a super league and we get some of those guys in, I'll rep you because you need like the weird, like skanky looking white dude like to get you in, and I fit that part. If I let
telling me
out and get a little more rough, I will shave like one side and like pick the other side out. We'll be good. We'll get you in.
So you got a whole bunch of black guys
who play backyard games and who are really good at them. Can jam, all that. It's not just for white boys at frat parties. It's not. I promise. We can take over the globe.
All right. Well, we're gonna get back to that. Let's talk about the Sixers. Let's talk about last night. Let's talk about the game that was
closer than it was because our bench is absolute trash.
Yeah, and let's talk about how the media ran with that and tried to make it seem like the starters blew that lead. First of all, what do you think about the media stroke fest that the Nets are getting?
Why? There's one ball. Like, I don't get it. I could understand if like basketball was now played with 3 balls and you didn't have to play defense and that was the name of the game, then I would be I'm not worried about the Nets. Like, I'm not. Like, they haven't even played. Remember last year with the Sixers or the year before it was the year before when we had Jimmy Butler, we had all these guys, and it's like, man, these guys are going to be amazing. And they never played together until like the last 2 games. And then they absolutely fell apart. But then they like started making a run in the playoffs, but then Jimmy was trying to take over. And then there's this and there's that factor. It's the same thing with the Nets. I'm not worried about a team where it's a bunch of guys who can't play defense and a bunch of guys who are older than dirt, who are shells of themselves, who just are ring chasing. If they were smart, they would have just went to the Lakers and not to the Nets. I don't know. It just makes
yeah. And you know what was weird? A lot of people was thinking that they were going to go to the Lakers, and they choose Brooklyn, and I'm trying to figure out why. LA weather, LeBron,
Brooklyn's
or you play in Brooklyn.
You get to hang out with Jay-Z like once every like 3 months. Like, that's not enough for me. Like, if Jay-Z's not like my boy and I'm not like sleeping on his floor, then I'm not going to Brooklyn. Like, there's nothing in Brooklyn for me. It's like, okay, where can I go from here? I can go to Boston, where I'll probably be hated, or I can go to New Jersey, and then you got to come hang out with me. There's nothing to do down here. Like, why are you there? I don't know.
That's just what Boston needs. Another white guy jacking up shots. Think he's the next Larry Bird. This is my issue with the Nets. This is my issue with the Nets. I mean, you'll be stupid to say that they're not a super team. They're not potent as hell. Look at you have you have 3 of the top 10 players in the freaking league. Like
Kyrie's like top 20.
Yeah, but when he's on,
Yeah.
like it's nothing you've ever seen. But you have 3, okay, let's say you have 3 top 20 players on one team assembled.
Okay.
You'll be crazy not to be like, oh man, that shit is potent. But my issue is now, because that's the super team and because people in the media have chosen them and they don't want to be wrong and they want to ride that wave, they've totally blown all logic out the door. The same stuff where they said with Jimmy Butler, when we got Jimmy Butler and them, you have to be a team. You have to play together. Blah, 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 blah.
So everything's got to be congruent. If you're not congruent, then what's the point? Then you're just throwing a bunch of guys out on the court and saying, hey, do what you want. And I don't think Steve Nash is that great of a coach to be able to control that. So what are you going to do?
I don't know what Steve Nash is. If you telling me you could drop me to coach Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and 2 plumbers, I'm going to win 40, 50 games.
Probably.
I'm going to win 40, 50 games.
Essentially, you will. Just off of those 3 guys alone.
Exactly. So what exactly is Steve bringing? Is he bringing his 7 seconds or less? What? I mean, he has the ultimate almost guy on the bench as his assistant coach in Dan Tony.
Yeah.
So you give me the MVP, in my opinion, Embiid, who nobody can defend him.
MVP.
And you put him with a championship coach and Doc Rivers against that combustible, whatever you want to call it, with a rookie head coach. Yeah, give me the Sixers.
I'm taking the Sixers all day in a series. Would I say that the Nets would end up beating the Sixers one time in the regular season with all those guys? Yeah, sure. Like I'm not saying I'm not afraid of them. I'm just saying if we're going into a best of 5 or a best of 7 series, who's covering Embiid? Who's covering Embiid?
Nobody.
No one. Okay.
They sent 3 people they play zone. No, they played 3-2 zone, but it was football. Like I saw like bracket coverage. It was one dude in the front, one dude behind them, and Ben still got him the ball, and he still did work. Like,
and they still were up at 22 at one time. So, okay, please. And that's not going to happen when KD and Harden are back. They can't play that way because they're even more liabilities. I would say last night was probably the best you saw of the Brooklyn Nets defense. So if that's the best defense you're going to see from the Brooklyn Nets as of last night, when you get KD back and James Harden, you know they don't play defense. We both watch these guys play. They do not play defense.
Mm-hmm. And what if KD gets switched on Embiid?
He's going to get bodied.
And I promise you, the first time Embiid gets Durant on him and he takes a jumper, I will call a timeout and I will chew his ass out if I was Doc Rivers. Okay. You take that beanpole in the post and you make him defend you. Don't let him off the hook. Sometimes Joe has this thing to where he's so skilled that he'll do the jump shot versus bully him. Like you saw, he did a couple jumpers against DeAndre Jordan. And then DeAndre Jordan started getting off, and then B was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
And then you can see he started taking him down, and he was demoralizing DeAndre. That one post move where he just gave him a quick forearm, and it blew DeAndre off his spot, and he dunked it. Like you could see DeAndre was just looking around like, well, what do you want me to do?
Because Embiid's quicker than DeAndre Jordan. See, Embiid does this thing where he like outsmarts himself. He's like, all right, I know I'm the best on the court, but now I'm going to settle for jump shots. And it's like, Embiid, just put everybody on a poster every single time. You're too skilled not to be dunking on everybody or using a finesse move underneath because the dude has all the post moves. So it's nothing to worry about. But then you also have to worry about him. He can hit the 18 to 20-foot jumpers. He can hit the threes. We know this. But what we want from him is, keep dominating in the paint. Keep dropping 39 a night and getting 20 rebounds because that's what you're going to do. And Ben's going to be Ben. Hopefully you can get like a performance out of last night. I think he had like 17 last night. Tobias is, I don't know where he came from this season, but I'm really loving this Tobias. I'll take that all day.
He has a real coach that believes in him and knows what to do, and told him to stop dribbling, get the ball, make a move. Like Tobias gets in trouble when he starts dribbling and thinking he's KD on the perimeter.
He's like every time Furkan gets the ball, he tries to dribble, it's stripped. It just makes me laugh. I don't understand why he plays. It makes me so frustrated.
We're gonna get into that, but what is your ultimate feeling on Ben Simmons? He's so polarizing. Like last night, you saw it was the Luka versus Ben debate. I'm not even gonna get into that bullshit. But what is your feelings on Ben Simmons?
I think Ben, I'm not going to go on like with all, like obviously he's had his troubles as of late with like his whole family issues. I was reading a lot about that, and it's deflating. It's hard when people tell you to shut up and dribble and just keep playing, though you're going through some pain and some family shit. We've all been there. It's hard to produce at your job when you're mentally strained and you're going through something serious at home. So I'm going to cut him a break for that. But as overall player, his development, I don't even care if he shoots a jump shot. Just keep getting to the basket and just dunk. He tries to be too cute when he's at the basket. Stop with the fucking finger rolls. Stop with the layups. Throw down. Just throw down. Like the easy misses are what pisses me off. But he's one of the best facilitators in the game. What he does isn't reflected in the stat sheet. The assist to 3-pointers, he leads that in the league since he came in. Has great court vision. He's a good general. We need him to be more aggressive when it comes to attacking the rim and attacking the rim hard and consistently and taking that. But I also would like to see him take maybe a 15-foot jumper or a jumper at the foul line when it's given to him. But he also knows he's not that great of a foul shooter. Like my boy Nick said on the other night, he's like, so it's hard for him because maybe that's in his head. Hey, I'm not that good of a foul shooter, so why am I going to go into the lane? They're going to hack me, and I'm only shooting 60%. I think mentally he needs to look at himself in the mirror and say, I can fuck with anybody. I need to be like the warrior Ben. I need to be a savage. Let me get the fucking ball, do me, and not worry. And just shit on everybody. Because if I was at his skill set, I would do that.
I just can't. And that's what I was about to say. I can't understand somebody that talented, that good, that size, that speed, that strength, and
has no confidence.
Do a loop-de-loop finger roll when I'm in the paint. Like,
if I could dunk, I'm dunking.
I'm like Giannis. Like, Giannis is a bull in the China shop.
Yeah.
Now, where they get him in the playoffs, Giannis, is they let him go off and then they get everybody else around him.
Exactly, because that's what you do. Players are going to get theirs. So I'm not even going to try to shut him down. Let me shut down Middleton and I think who they have now. Oh, Drew Holiday. Shut those guys out. Pat Connaughton or whatever. Shut those guys down.
But when Ben has the lane in that screenshot like he had last night and he still tried to give it to him, you can't do that, Ben.
I mean, looking at it like through my eyes, the one person I can't even say it with a straight face. The one person I wish Ben Simmons would emulate, like attitude-wise, would probably be TJ McConnell. Because TJ McConnell I just see your eyes. It makes me laugh all the time when everybody just brings up TJ McConnell and you just want to strangle him.
No. First of all, shout out to the guy yesterday. I guess he writes for the Six or Six, whatever. He got all of his feelings because he had tweeted about TJ McConnell, and I did Coming to America, except I switched it instead of Rocky Marciano. I switched it with TJ McConnell, and he legit thought I was serious. It was funny. The next 10 people got it. They was like, and they started memeing it, and he was like, I don't understand what your problem is with what I said. And I'm like, dude, like, calm down, yo. Like,
it's funny. I mean, when people bring TJ McConnell up, I'm like, why? He's not good. He isn't good. And who cares?
He's had a nice career for what he came in the league as undrafted, coach's son. I mean, he's that guy that sticks around because he does all the right things. Yeah. He works, and he's not going to put you in a bad spot.
No, but okay,
I'll
but I'm
give
not
him that.
praising
But
that.
when people talk about him like he's
He was
like
great.
he's like a Family Dollar, not even Family Dollar, like he's a like Michael's, Michael's the craft shop.
Yeah.
He's like Michael's
He's like
Allen Iverson. I want to choke.
he's more like a
Like
Frank's Allen Iverson because Frank's nursery is gone. They folded in like 2008. He's a Frank's nursery AI, but he's not even Eric. No, he's not even Aaron McKee. He's not even Larry Hughes. Like you look at it, like you can't compare TJ McConnell to anybody but TJ McConnell because that's who TJ McConnell is. He has no confidence in the NBA.
He's a well, yeah, that's true. Why?
No
How do we even see? That's why I don't like talking about TJ McConnell because he sucks you in to talk about shit that you don't need to talk about.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about. But I just had to throw it off. I just had to throw it off topic.
So, what's weird? It's funny how remember when rest in peace, Kobe. Remember when the Nike thought Kobe and LeBron was in for a collision course, everybody did, and they did the puppets and everything else.
Yes.
My thing is, why are people so certain that the Sixers and the Nets are going to meet up?
I think the Nets are going to have a harder road. The Nets have to go through Milwaukee. That's going to be tough. Or if they see the Heat, it's going to be tough.
That's the one that will worry me if I'm a Nets fan. Because even if
I'm a Nets fan, yes.
Remember when we won? What did we win? 4 games to the one against the Heat.
Yes,
but it felt like 7 games.
It did because they beat the shit.
They just Pat Riley, his whole culture. It goes through that whole organization, and they play.
Those boys have heart. They all have heart.
So if you think you're just going to skate through a series with the Heat and then have to deal with Giannis and Brook Lopez goofy ass shooting from the logo, he annoys me when he shoots 3-pointers because it's like, dude, like you're like 7'10", like he just and he always makes them, especially against the Sixers, and it bothers me. We just have certain people that just T.J. Warren, him, Buddy Hield, others that they just when they play against the Sixers, for some reason they just like I'm about to get a contract off this game.
Yeah. And then they do nothing. So hey, keep giving them contracts. So I don't care. My whole thing is you want to give these bums contracts. Give all the bums contracts, and we will we'll call it a day. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. I'm just trying to retweet this, but for some reason,
let's talk about.
I don't care.
Talk about Philly sports Twitter. Give me a positive and give me a negative.
Positive. Man, some of these people that I've met are really funny. Some of them are really funny. The negative is everything else. We talked about this. Like I'm so grateful for like the connections and the people that I've made, like that I don't really even know, but they're really nice, and I engage with them on. And it's so weird. I always forget to switch to like my real account, and I always tweet from the Drunk on Broad account. And I'm like, wonder if they think it's Rich or if it's like one of the other guys, even though it's always me. So I'm like, and then I try to engage on my account, and they're like, nah, nobody wants to do that. So then I have to go back to Drunk on Broad, and I'm like, oh, great. But I'm like, these people are cool. But good God, do they hate everything about everything, about everything, about everything, about everything, and then about like everything. Like every other week, Ben Simmons sucks. Oh, Ben Simmons the greatest. Joel Embiid's the MVP. Oh, can he stay healthy? Let's get Chick-fil-A out of his head. Okay, that's cool. Oh, let's go to the Phillies. Best team on paper. What the fuck? They stink now. This is bullshit. Fire everyone. Only thing I agree with is the Flyers are dog shit. I mean, I have it on the background. They're dog shit. And then it's the Eagles.
This is a no hockey slander channel, sir.
No, I understand, but they're just terrible. But the thing with the Eagles that pisses me off, oh, wow, how do you miss that goal? Because he didn't get in. The thing with the Eagles Twitter is it's so divided because of the shitheads. It's all bloggers, and I fucking hate them. And I think everybody has the same feeling. And it's not like a hate. It's just stop creating stories. Stop getting your source, a.k.a. Howie Roseman, to mention your name in a press conference so you think that like you're entitled to to dump all this shit that you think that we want to listen to. Like the latest article that came out saying, "Oh, Howie makes all." We know that. We know Howie makes all the decisions. Like who is this fooling? Like, why is Carson Wentz so happy that he left? Because why would you want to be here? Why is Doug Peterson smiling?
Fuck Carson Wentz, yo. Let me tell you something. I defended that guy as much as I could, but he really, like, he can take his North Dakota ass.
Yeah, he can play wherever he wants.
Think it up, but just give us our pick. I'm sick of. I have fatigue, and I agree with you about the bloggers. It's like they sit there and they create a storm because you know what's the worst thing about Philly is the best thing about Philly sports.
We care.
We care so much, and people be like, "Well, if you don't give them attention, then they won't listen." We live and breathe this shit. So if somebody says something about our teams, we're going to respond, and people know that.
Yeah.
I wish I could be as carefree as some of the people. And the people that try to act holier than thou, they'd be like, I just don't pay any attention. I just mute them. I just block them. Like, fuck off, man. Yeah. Listen.
No way.
Okay, good. Good for you. I don't. I respond. I tweet hard. I've gotten blocked because of it. I've gotten suspended because of it.
You know what the funny thing is about that? The funny thing about that is you're not even that bad. You just literally call them out on their bullshit. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, when people are trying to like fuck with you and block you and get you kicked off, it's not like you're like saying, hey, like, you're an ugly piece of shit. Like, you're a fucking moron. You're just like, nah, like, this is dog shit article. Like, do better. Like, why are you doing this? Do better. Like, yeah. And then you'll say like, fuck you or blah, blah, blah. But of course, it's after something else.
Why?
But why?
Now, let me ask you this, Rich. Let me ask you this. Because that's good. Because I got to ask outside. Why am I such a problem with what I say and what I do compared to others? Like, why try to get me kicked off? Why get me suspended? Why report my tweets? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what is it? Outside looking in, what the hell is it?
That's what I don't get. Because I'm like, I see some people are way worse. And I'm like, wow. I think it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is or who you worked for beforehand. But something, like, I'm telling you, something got around and was like, yo, this dude's like going to be a problem. Not like you are, like, a good thing. Like, this dude's going to be a problem if he gets his time, he gets his air, he gets this. Like, dude's going to be a problem. But then they turn it into, no, dude is a problem. So when you encounter him, make sure you do whatever you can to shut him down. So I don't know who you have pictures of or what happened that you know, but people are trying to quiet you. But it makes me laugh because I'm like, I see some things said and I'm like, it's not that bad. And I'm
the whole 97.5 has me like,
bro, they're just shook.
Man.
They're just shook, like, off of everything. Like, it's so funny. The only one that I like interact with on there is Pat Egan, and it's like over UFC fights. And the kid, like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get these people. Like, I don't get the whole bubble. I really don't get the 97.5 clip.
You know what it is, and it's not everybody because, like I said, Jamie, Pat, Devon. Oh,
Devon's great.
Those my guys.
On there.
Those my guys. It's that. This is what I think it is. And I think it's with other podcasters and up and coming people is they watch sports, which is what? A competition.
Yeah.
But they really don't want it. You understand what I'm saying? Like me and you, like, I'm not going to shit on you. I retweet your stuff. I talk about your show. I have you on. Like, those other people, like with the factions and the Eagles Illuminati and all that bullshit, like, I can't tell you if they've ever retweeted anything I said, gave any support. Even hell, when I tweet something about my son, when I like something about anything, they don't do that.
They like your stuff when it goes viral. I notice you get like some blue checkers when you go viral, some Philly blue checkers.
I have a lot of blue checks that follow me. I follow, And let me tell you something, people. This is the one thing you don't know about me. Like, despite what you may think, like, I love to just have fun and help people. Like I said, it's so many people in my DMs that ask me legit advice, and I will never ever disclose what they ask me because the fact that they come to me and ask me for advice, I
You should
respect
expect it.
that and I love that. So, and let me tell you something. It's blue checks and it's people in the industry that come to me and they tell me, keep doing what you're doing.
And you do,
I
and you have a good
respect what
product.
you're doing.
And that's like the whole thing. It's like what I look at is I'm very well now. I in the beginning I was like, all right, because there's me and Oscar. I was always in the search of a co-host for an episode because Oscar is not the biggest Philly sports fan. So I'm like, okay, and it's hard sitting there. Like I'm like how you do it. God bless you. Like I love the way that you can carry a show by yourself. I try, but I just bore myself. Like I'm not the whole. I try to be like the exuberant personality, but I'm more of a I feed off energy. Like you're laughing, I'm laughing. I'm like an energy vampire. That's how I literally like feel like for myself. If someone's down, I'm down because it's just I feed off of that. So it was hard for me in the beginning when it's like, all right, we don't have a special guest coming on. We don't have this. And I'm reaching out to people in the industry and they're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, if it wasn't for a pandemic, they would never give me the time of day, which I completely understand that. I'm in no one. I don't really care. Like,
No,
but
that's bullshit. You're not a no one. You're starting off like they started off, and it just takes one person to come on with you and see what you're about and bring their followers to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't downplay yourself because like I said, like I don't fuck with phony people. I don't fuck with people that don't have the right energy. And you've been energy since day one. Like you reached out to me and I was like, say when.
yeah,
Like
I was like, this is
it,
great. I
but you
text
know
Oscar. I'm
what?
like, "Yo, Oscar, I'm
And
like,
the
a
and
real
the,
Prince Blue.
and,
He's like, word. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
and the fact that you was even feeling that way, I'm like, dude, like I'm not a nobody, but like, dude, like I just talk shit.
Yeah,
But the fact that you had that energy and it was that was that mutual respect that was there, that gave me energy. But there's people that's doing this that for some reason they swear they're all that in a fucking bag of chips to go old school. They think that
yeah,
their shit don't stink, and they think that everybody that follows them and tweets them is really in it for them. And like I've said since day one, the same people that you ha and kikiing about, they're in my DM saying so and so stupid. Look at this what so and so said. They're stupid. Look at this. They're corny. They're whack. But they're also tweeting you and kikiing with you, and you swear you to make things a sliced bread. I'm
yeah,
telling you, people, like the moment you start thinking that this social media thing is real life and you could blame the pandemic and everything, that's on you because you could be whoever you want to be on here.
yeah.
That's where I pride myself on being who I am. Like you know who I am. You know I'm retired police, military. I'm a father of three. My son has autism. I'm twice married. Like you know all of that.
It's
You
out
know
there.
some people actually try to like hide shit like that, and I'm like, why?
It's who I am. If it's
It's
who
who
you
I
are,
am. It's who makes me who I am.
and
You know what I'm saying?
I think the problem is it's like when you like people just always want to be validated, and it's just like I'm not really into it. Like I'm happy that we got Nick back, my boy Nick. I'm happy he came back, and I'm happy I met Chip from Chips and Dish and from the All About the Birds Network. Like I
Mhm.
go back and forth with him. He comes on. I go on his show. We just mesh. We have a great time. But we also had one of the worst episodes in history when we did our whole great debate, which I thought was absolute dog shit. And
Mhm.
but we got Don from it, and I'm so happy we got Don. Don reached out. He's like, "When can I come back?" I'm like, "Whenever." Don's a good dude. He just won Teacher of the Month for the Flyers for March. Like Don's doing big things. $10,000 for their STEM lab. Like I surround
Shout out
myself
to the
on my
teacher.
podcast with good people, with all around good people who want to talk sports. Who I'm proud to be like, hey, this is my dude. He's on my show. He's not out there. F this guy. F that. Leave that to me. I'll
Mhm.
handle telling people to fuck off. You be
Mhm.
the good guy that you are. I'll be the outspoken one because that's my role. I'll be guardian.
Mhm.
You guys do you. So I'm extremely happy with where we've come. We're only getting better, and you can tell just by I'm going back and just listening to the podcast, and I'm like, man, I'm like this sounds really good. Like And it's awesome. And it's not fake. We're fans. We have to reiterate that because we're not professionals. We're not about that. Like we're not about, I'm not going to start a war, but I'm also not going to let people off the hook because I don't believe in that. I believe in if you call yourself a journalist, you have to have some type of integrity. And if a fan says, I don't like your work, do you mind actually putting something out that's not clickbait or something that I would really enjoy to read? Then do it. Listen to your fans. But then you got 45,000 people coming at you saying, well, you're just an idiot. But all of them have pictures of dogs and anime characters. So I don't listen to them. And nobody should listen to anybody if it's not them. This is my face. It's on my account. Our Drunk on Broad is our logo because it's our logo. But you know who it is. I take responsibility for everything. Like, don't be phony. Don't be fake. We preach love. Like, everybody love everybody. Oscar said it the one day. I didn't like a new show that All About the Birds put out. I messaged Chip and I said, yo, I don't like the whole Eagles, beers, and bullshit. I'm like, I think it's ripping my show. And I just don't appreciate it. Chip's like, I understand. Like, I'll talk to the guys. And then Oscar, calmed me down and was like, yo, bro, sun shines on everybody. And I'm like, you know what? It does. I don't care. And then I text Chip and I'm like, yo, my bad. I blew it out of proportion. I'm like, that's my fault. I'm like, I'm sorry for saying that. Oscar's mom always says, the sun shines on everybody. And I support everybody. I support it. You know what? I want everybody to get ahead in life. I don't want to be the bitter sort of, well, he took my idea. He took my idea. Like it's not.
I
right.
want everybody.
We all want to do well. Yeah,
I like competition. I love the fact that like you do you in your lane, whether you stream dogs or you stream video games or you stream sports or whatever the case may be. Like everybody has a lane. Yeah. Like my lane is that I can talk sports. I can talk pop culture.
You can talk real life.
Oh yeah, I can talk shootings, real life, military, police type stuff. I can talk taxes. I can talk family life. I can go a lot of different directions. I don't like when I call out journalists and bloggers and tweeters or whatever, like I'm calling you out on your craft and what you're doing. The same way you criticize Joel Embiid, Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, whoever it is, the players.
You hear the marbles
and
going?
They have to just take it. But when somebody says your shit is trash, you want to block, you want to get in your feelings, you want to get personal, you want to write agenda-based articles, McLean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I told you suck. Like, you blocking me? Like, dude, like, get some better skin. Like, what are we doing here?
If you
like, what did you get into this for?
Yeah, like, did you get in this for everybody to like what you write? Like, I don't get into like we're doing this show because we enjoy it, and the 180 people who watch it occasionally, they enjoy it. We get praise. Some people, tell me I'm a fraud and I suck, which I'm like, I'm not a fraud. I never claimed to be anything but a fan. But okay, that's weird. It's a weird thing.
You're not a fucking analyst.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
what?
Cool. Like people told me, they was like, Blue, you can erase the negative reviews on your for your podcast. I'm like, why? The fact that somebody took time to create a fake account or criticize me
means you're doing something right.
Perfect. And the fact that it has Eagle Brawl's #1 fan on it and shit like that, love it. That means that I tapped the nerve. Yeah, thank you. Something. That's the whole point. Tapping the nerve. That means you're bothered. I'm not erasing shit. Keep that up there. That's what makes you go harder. And the reason why I mentioned them is because that's what it said. It said it was a fan of another specific media, and it came at my show. So I'm like, well, there you go. But I can tell you what, you'll never see a real time Prince Blue #1 fan criticize their shit under some fake ass monkey or anything like that, because that's just not how I roll. That's not how I operate. That's not how the people that follow me, I want them to operate. I want you to let them eat, because I want to just crush them in the environment in which we're in.
I'd rather have a better quality show. And I think that's what we strive for. I think the difference is we're not making up lies and we're not just doing like stupid shit. Like, yeah, we're trying to be creative. We're trying to be, I wouldn't say innovators because people came before us. They built the
Yeah.
table. We're just, putting an extra leg on it. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we're doing. I look at my show and I'm like, I really like what we do. I'm like, I think it's one of the better ones out there. So I'm going to keep doing it and I'm not changing anything. I think I finally found my core group where we can put out an hour show that's full of laughs, anger, real emotion. And then at the end, we can get heavy on our final thoughts and talk about whatever we want. And, we support each other because that's what you want. Like, I'm never going to go on my show and be like, well, today's topic is fuck Prince Blue and his show. And then it's like, let's just demolish him. I'll be like, no, I read an article the other day by Bleeding Green Nation and I thought it was trash. Here's why. Like, it's not me calling him out, but then it's just like, this is the article I read. This is why I didn't like it. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I pay for your product. I don't pay for theirs. I don't pay for anybody's. I'm just saying if I did, it's my right to be like, hey, if I'm paying $5.99 a month for the Atlantic, well, guess what? I can write to that art. I can comment on that post and say, I hate this article. Why did you write this? You're making up or fabricating a story that your sources. If you're so afraid of naming your sources, well, come out with something better. I just hate the whole, well,
I hate how my source said that so-and-so has bad work ethic.
Yeah. And then you see the dude like 2 hours later, like in the gym, the dude posts nothing but workout videos on his Instagram, but he's got a bad work ethic. Like, that's the thing that boggles my mind. It's like some people just make shit up for likes, and that's all it is anymore. It's click, 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 and how many views get traffic to your page, and it's just annoying. So,
or people want everybody. Like, listen, people, I know for a fact everybody don't like me. Breaking news, everybody don't like me. I know for a fact a lot of people that follow me don't like me, but they want to see what I'm going to say, or they want to share it in their little faction groups and secret DM club meetings. Told me to screenshot. Look what Prince said. Oh, what a dumbass! Ha 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 ha.
He's so dumb.
He's so dumb, but I follow him. I like people. I don't care. People don't like me when I post like pictures of my hats that I just bought or sneakers that I just bought. It's not showing off. That's what I love to do. Like, if you love the Eagles and you post a picture of Jalen Hurts talking,
yeah,
that's what you love. I love certain things because some people get bent all out of shape. Like, they be like, that's all he talks about.
People are just angry in general, and it's like, I hope everybody
miserable. I just in their fucking lives.
Yeah, it's like that's your fault. Then change it. It's not my fault. Like, okay, you can say whatever you want about me. Leave my other guys alone on my podcast. They didn't do anything wrong, and they're really good people. So I'm a good person. I don't look at myself as being a terrible person. I'm a good guy. Sometimes I just can't stand when I'm lied to. I just don't like when I'm searching for something to read about my favorite team and it's all BS. Like, that's my big beef. And I'll never be like, well, don't follow them. Support whoever you want. I don't care. I want, like you said, everybody deserves to eat, but I want to build something that's the best, if not better than all of them, with a tinier following. I don't need a cult. I just need a few people who want to listen and enjoy it. That's all I care about.
And let me tell you something. Just because you have 1 million people who listen or whatever the number is, doesn't mean your shit is good.
No. Look at Dr. Phil.
It doesn't mean your shit is good. Like, people get stuck on, like, there's a lot of people that have more followers than me, but do you have the impact that I have if I tweet out something? When I do when I pull Anna Hotford out the bag, do you have that impact?
Buster only.
Buster only.
That was so good today.
Like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, do you have that impact? Yeah, some people are going to retweet and like stuff. Like, some people just scroll through like because that person has a lot of followers and they want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Viral or whatever that part of that is, that sensation. Quality over quantity, people.
Yeah, I don't clamor for stuff, and I'll never beg. I just want to do my thing. Like we talked about before, and what I talk about with my guys. We're a team, and the day that I'm not enjoying every Tuesday hanging out with you guys is the day that I'm done. Like I'll ride off into the sunset. I don't care if that is with 15 million people or just the four of us, but it's not gonna happen.
Like, I want people to understand something. Like, you think I like talking by myself? There's a reason why I almost always have a guest with me.
Yeah.
Because I love talking to people. I love interviewing people. I love all walks of life. I love getting to know people, especially during this pandemic. Like, people legit, when I ask them to come on, they be like, me? Why me? I'm like, because I find you interesting. I find you fascinating. And I want to know more about you. Like, but I'm not a blue check. Okay, I don't give a shit. Like, anybody can interview a blue check. Like, just because you interview a blue check, like, doesn't mean it's fascinating. Doesn't mean it doesn't. Like, I have people, like I just had Dr. Sheila Madrick on. She's a doctor and a professor in San Diego. She's an ecologist. We talked about turtles. I found that fascinating.
That's so awesome.
You got this Philly fanatic out there in San Diego,
so cool.
Who's a doctor.
I'm so jealous.
And studies turtles. Like, come on.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah. And then I have my girl Double L Love Puck. Her history is her Hennessy model. Was in Jet Magazine twice. Was an extra on The Wire.
That's cool.
The Boondocks used her likeness for a full episode for a cartoon character. And she's also been in plenty of ads. She's been with a lot of celebrities. She knows her shit about sports. She knows her shit about music. Like that. And then I like the idea of taking something that's interesting to me and presenting it to other people, and they'll be like, man, I'm not listening to that. Wait a minute. Okay. I like that. That's what I like. It's easy to get Shaq on and have like 8 million people be like, oh, Shaq's on. Like,
well, this brings us to like what like me and you were talking about. And like, this is like our presented, like what our idea. Like, I love that you used Voltron as the idea behind it, and I'm like, it's so great.
Oh yeah, let's get into Voltron. When I put that post out about
that was so good.
What Voltron and our podcast have in common is, for anybody who know, if you don't know, if you haven't seen Voltron, what the hell is wrong with you? Well, Voltron had 5 lions, and each person over a lion, and separately they were fantastic. Everybody had their favorite lion. Separately, they was fantastic. But when they combined and formed Voltron, nobody could stop them.
Nope.
And you and I got together and we was like, you know what's funny? Because you reached out to me back when I had the little issue where somebody lied on me about their child or whatever, and I was getting a lot of heat, and it come out find out it was false. And people was jumping on. I even got kicked off for a little bit because people was reporting to you, so they thought I said something, blah, blah, blah. And you noticed that, well, a lot of people that had my back, they came for me or whatever. But you noticed that, like, any other, like, podcasters or networks didn't have my back. And they were like, they was just leaving me to dangle out in the wind, which is fine because I'm a big boy. Like, I knock everybody the fuck out. It's fine. But you reached out to me and you was like, yo, what if we, and not cheesy like these networks, they be like, hey, yeah, we're like the painted asshole, like, or whatever. Like we're like crossing eyes or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And they want to take your money and all that shit. No. We're not that. We was thinking about getting a whole bunch of podcasts together.
Yep.
Or whether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the number is, and we take care of each other. We cross on each other's platforms. We support each other.
Yep.
When shit like that happened to me we got some people that got your back. And we're just asking people to if that's something you're interested in with your show and you're just starting off, and trust me, believe me, don't think because you have 5 or 6 people that listen or whatever the case would be that you don't matter, that nobody's listening. I
You
listen
do.
to a lot of podcasts where they're not even averaging over 100 people, but I enjoy it and I want other people to enjoy it as well. So we was thinking about you and I getting together and just offering an invite out there to any podcaster or anybody that's doing live stream or whatever, if they want to just join up and they want to just talk and
Yeah.
cross promote and get each other popping and get each other going. And
All it takes is one. You know,
all it takes is one.
And we're not
It's
saying
you
that,
and
hey,
I right now. It's you and I
yeah,
right
it's just
now.
us. And it's like I'm not even going to say I'm like, it doesn't mean we're going to be super successful, but
Yeah,
it means us sticking together so none of us get bullied off. So
right.
people don't come for us and no one supports you. It's
And
more like,
again,
you see
people,
all these random things
right.
are like, hey, join this independent network of podcasts, and this is why you need us. And they follow 14,000 people, and then they have 8,000 followers, but you have to pay for like, no, this ain't
No,
about that.
no. We ain't paying. We ain't asking you for a damn dime. We just asking you to support and
Yeah,
be loyal.
and
And let me
support
tell you something.
your little group.
I was with one of those networks, and I'm telling you, when shit hits the fan, they have to make business decisions. And what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna make a decision. But you know what? I found out that me on my own with no strings, that's probably the best thing because can nobody call nobody. If somebody wants me to stop talking about somebody, guess who they got to talk to? Me. They ain't got to go to
They're not joining
hibbity
groups. They're
hoppity
trying to produce.
network and be like, hey, if you don't tell Blue to stop talking about us, we're not gonna do anything with you. We're gonna threaten you with bullshit lawsuit shit like that. That's where we come in, where we got your back. Like we ain't gonna let you fall for that okey doke bullshit
Yeah,
and get bullied off. Like
with hope.
you have enough right to um to
It's
say
true.
your opinion like everybody else.
I think that's the part where people get frustrated. They get frustrated if they don't have enough people following, so they immediately give up. You're not going to get 40,000 people viewing. You don't even want that. Like, yeah, if you want that, you want that. But at the end of the day, you have to develop your niche. You have to find what you want to do, and you have to find people who believe in you. Even if
Get a
two
core.
people believe in you, like
Get a
that's
core.
more than anything. And I
Get your
think that's what
core.
people like. That's why, like, I keep referring, like, so glad we got Don, so glad we got Nick. So, because we picked up 2 other people who believed in me and Oscar's premise. They believed in our show that they wanted to be part of it. And that speaks volumes because I'm like, hey, at least I reached 2 people who wanted to join me. And then Chip will invite me on. You'll invite me on. Oh, crap, that's 4 people. And then it trickles out. And like, the product is, when the product's good, it will be found. So
Absolutely.
there are some, like, I'm going to tell you, some of these podcasts out there that are really small are really good. They just maybe
That's
need to,
phenomenal.
maybe
Like
they just need to change up their background, or
shout out
maybe
to
they
my
just need to.
boy shout out to my boy T Will, a full
T-Will's
court
podcast
press.
is so good.
He has the best Sixers podcast, I think. Very knowledgeable, has his people, knows what he's talking about. Oh, you want to go analytics? He can go analytics. You want to
Yeah.
go eye test? He can go eye test. You want to go what insiders are telling you? He can go there too.
Yeah.
And he don't have a blue check. But this is the thing. This is why
But he's one of the
it's
best Sixers
he,
guys to do it.
absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. And that's my guy. Like I call on him when I need advice or anything, or when I need help with something, and he's there. My guy, main event status. He just started some mega podcast. For those who don't know, main event status was one of the first to do the whole rage video, the rage culture, when you just get on and he rage about Philadelphia sports. And it got to the point that 97.5 had him in-house. He was next.
That's
but
awesome.
he was too real. And
Yeah.
he can elaborate on that a little bit more. But he started from videos on his phone to 975 wanting to do business with that man. So it can be done. If the product is good, if people believe in you, they will reach out to you. And look at me. Like I can tell you since I started this podcast, I had 3 chances to do something on a bigger stage. But either from people that I've upset at 97.5, I was stonewalled, or they did a social media scrub and they saw that I got into it with some people that they do business with, and they did shit aside. Or I had the reputation. They was like, yo, this dude Blue, yo, I've heard this. This dude is toxic. Like he's dangerous. Like I don't know what the fuck that means, but I guess it means that I'm
Can name,
liable to say whatever.
can
And you
name the
know what
15
dangerous?
people off the top of my head who are toxic.
You know what dangerous means? Dangerous means that I my paycheck isn't hinged on somebody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
That's what dangerous means. Because I'm gonna tell y'all again, for those you don't know, I'm retired. Like my money is secure. I don't I don't have to worry about somebody saying, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't have said that. Maybe you should apologize. You won't have a job no more." I'm good. So that's what dangerous means. So if
Thank
that's what dangerous means, well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm gonna continue to be dangerous, and I'm gonna continue to be me because this is who I am. And if that's who you want to be out there as a podcaster, do that.
you.
But
Yeah.
just know that it it takes. You got to be ready. You got to be ready.
People are going to come for you. If you upset them, the people will come. Don. Love Don. Don's so great.
Uh,
Don's
come on now, don't do that. I believe in you and me. But yes, but just to let y'all know,
we are
if
taking
like I
applications.
said, you could reach out to me and Rich in private or whatever the case. You know where we be at. I'm at Real Prince Blue on Twitter, at Real Prince Blue on IG, or
Yeah.
just Prince Blue on Facebook. Rich, let them know where you at.
At Dickie C620 on Twitter, or you can use the at Drunk on Broad. I do both, or Oscar will say it. You can reach out wherever I'm there. I'm willing to listen. I'll help. Like whatever you need. You need advice on StreamYard. You can come to us. If you need somebody to hook you up with graphics, we know people who do graphics. Like, I mean, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Shit,
It's
I
not gonna
need
be
graphics.
yeah.
That's okay.
There's
I
to do
need graphics. Yeah, we gonna talk online. I need graphics. Like I don't even have no fucking interest music, yo. I just be hey, everybody, it's real
I
time.
can we I'll ask Oscar. Oscar has some free time if he has some
So
free time.
you know what's funny? Like I'll be like in the car because whenever I download an episode, it's set up to it downloads on my phone. So
Okay.
imagine I'm listening to Rod Stewart, Young Hearts Be Free Tonight. And then the song ends. It's like, hey, everybody! It's July the 1st. This is real time. I'm like, oh man, can you imagine if you're in a car? I'd be in a car with family, and then next thing you know, my voice, but they're like a
What?
little, cocky much. No, I did not play this just to play it. Like it's on my shuffle, so it showed up.
It's
Like,
so
come on, man. I hate hearing myself. Like, stop it.
yeah, I cringe when I re-listen, but I just do it to hear the back and forth and
I never listen.
see what we can
I
do.
never re-listen to an episode, and you know why? That's why it's called Real Time Principle. I don't edit. I don't do any of that because I want it raw, real. Like if my
Yeah.
son busting here right now, and I'm like, "Get your ass out of here!" I want that on there because we've all been there when we're on the Zoom or we're trying to do something that it pops in, and I think that helps when people are listening because they understand. They understand. They're like, "Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he's a real dude, man." You're like, he had to say, "Hold on, let me get my son some milk real quick." Like it is what it is.
It's real life. Well, that's the funny thing
Yeah.
with us. Like I don't know how to edit things. I just have to listen to it just to be like, all right, Nick was talking over Don a lot this episode. So let me go into the pre-meeting room before the thing. Like Nick, let Don speak.
Y'all have a pre-meeting room?
Well, we do this like we get in like 5 minutes beforehand. I'll be like, all right, well,
You guys are balling. You got a pre-meeting room?
Yeah, it's mainly just fucking with each other and then telling Nick to stop fucking over John. And then Oscar being like, "Oh, I'm not ready yet." And then getting up for like 10 minutes. I'm like, "Oscar, can you come back so we can start this?" And then he's like sitting there. I'm like, "Oscar, posture." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." It's just so much fun. I love the crew. I love everything that we got going on. So it's fun. But there's
So
something else that I wanted to talk about with you because
go ahead.
you're a big fan. I'm a big fan. The releases today. Did you see who the superstars who got released?
Oh, now see, now you don't start so you can't finish. We are huge WWE fans, wrestling fans.
I'm wrestling fans.
Period.
I'm more AEW now than I ever was.
Now this is my thing. I'm WWE in my blood,
Oh yeah,
but I don't shit on AEW, Ring of Honor. I don't. You know how some people like shit on other promotions that make their promotion. No,
Yeah.
I don't do that. Like I love seeing like I have no idea who Kenny Omega is
He's so good. He's from New Japan.
But all I know is that it's always a big thing if he's like around.
Oh,
so, and I like that part because if he ever shows up or happens to, make that deal with the devil, go to WWE.
He already said he said I'd rather quit wrestling than they go to the WWE.
I want to be. Everybody says that, and then Jumanji.
Yeah, they'll give him the money, and then he'll go there. They won't use him for 7 months, and then they'll release him because that's what they do. They'll try to starve the other promotion. It is.
Yeah,
it's what WWE. It's what WWE.
How are you going to let go of a bitch?
How are you going to let go of Samoa Joe? You knew the Mickey James, who's a legend. That makes no sense. Kalisto. Okay, I get Kalisto. Tucker, Otis and Tucker, but they let go of Tucker from Heavy Machinery, not Otis, because I'm whatever. But then you let go of the Iconics. Then they let go of the Iconics. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Well, they already split them up. So
they never approved it. They never improved in the ring. And
the girls, not too much. But her husband's over in AEW, so she might go just join over with those.
And if I'm gonna be honest, like
they never used.
This may sound bad, but Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, even if we talking pure aesthetics, as far as divas, like I can name like 10 other ones that's like okay, but. But it's all good. But I hope they bounce back. But Samoa Joe was the shocker.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that concussion thing may have scared Vince because that's the one thing he don't want. He doesn't want that.
Pumping with steroids. Issue. God forbid they got a concussion. It makes you upset.
It's Samoa Joe. But I like Samoa Joe. It's so bad, man. Like. And they talk about budget cuts. Like, I'm not a chief financial officer, but budget my ass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're doing okay. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you couldn't keep Samoa Joe. Like, come on, man.
It just got a little.
And he just was on WrestleMania. He's just on the broadcast.
I know. And apparently it was like in the works to fire him before WrestleMania. Imagine if he got wind of that. Ooh, WrestleMania would have been nuts.
He should have known something was up when they yanked him from Raw. First of all, Adnan Virk, I know you got to give him time as the commentator, but
no,
it just wasn't. Bring back Phillips. Like I don't understand why they keep messing with it. I know Vince. Vince is thinking I'm going to bring the MLB people and I'm going to bring the ESPN eyes, bruh. Adnan Virk ain't bringing that shit unless he brings Shahadi with him. If he brings Shahadi with him, you might get a few more eyes. But nobody's tuning in to MLB Network like, I wonder what Adnan Virk is talking about today. Fuck out of here, man.
I just had to ask.
I hate that booth. I hate that booth.
But man, I am like super happy. I'm glad that we got the word out because I really want to do the start our conglomerate of independent podcasts who help each other in the Philly. It doesn't even have to be sports. It could be whatever,
Yeah.
Just make sure when you get in your lane, you stay in your fucking lane, people.
Yeah.
Don't decide, hey, I'm doing a podcast about fucking craft beer and cooking, and then the next week you're like, hey, welcome to House Lamps. What? House Lamps?
POB
Horse?
podcast over bitches.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, some pimp wants to be
Podcast over
well,
bitches.
he's got a stable of horse. We might as well just embrace this guy. He said he'd give you half off.
I'm telling you, that was a pimp. No, are you listening to the story? No, God no. I love that movie, man.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, were a pimp. No, are you listening to the story?
No, I just provided protection.
Protection.
This group of females. You had a stable of whores? It wasn't.
I'm telling you, that's a stable horse.
I'm telling you, you were a pimp. No.
You can't have a conscience in the pimp game. No, it's so good.
He his bitches best be wearing jimmies. That was the best line.
Whose baby is that?
Oh my god, it's such a funny movie. Aim for the bushes. Aim for the bushes. There's no bushes, even like.
Here goes my hero, stupid asses. Oh man, but this has been great, man. Rich, let them know again where they can see you and when's the podcast, man?
Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. we go live on Facebook or Periscope, which is viewed on Twitter, obviously. At DickieC620 is my handle. Our handle is at Drunk on Broad. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever podcasts are made. You can find us. I promise you, it's a good listen. You won't be bored. You'll be entertained, and we just four guys having a good time, baby. That's it.
Listen to me. He's telling the truth. You're going to be entertained. You're going to have fun, and you're going to enjoy yourself. Y'all already know who I am. It's at Real Prince Blue. You find me everywhere, I guess. This has been fun. I appreciate this. We're definitely going to do this again and again. If y'all are interested in what we talked about, hit us up.
Don't be afraid
on social media, and don't be afraid, man. We and if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's fine. So to everybody out there, be good. Remember, you don't have to be fake. You don't have to be honest. You don't have to be corny. But just always be real. Be real to yourself. If you're corny, be corny. Don't try to be something that you're not. All right? Everybody, we out.
Peace.
Make sure you brush your tongue. A lot of people don't brush their tongue. And their breath be smelling like hot
scoops.
hot Subway toilet seats. Like, come on, yo.
Soup.